Do you know what your average session fee is within your private practice? Today we're going to be discussing why it's important and how to calculate it. My name is Tony Cameron with TLDR Accounting, and we help therapists in private practice solve their tax and accounting needs. Today, we're going to talk about your average session fee. And when I do a new call with a therapy practice or an owner or someone thinking about going out into private practice, one of the things I bring up is, what is your average session fee? And a lot of the pushback I get is, well, my rate is X. I come back with, well, is everyone paying X? And they're like, well, no, I have someone who's paying this amount, someone who's paying this amount. And then I take this one insurance panel and the reimbursement rate is this. And I'm like, okay, so even though your rate is X, it isn't actually X. What you're bringing in per session varies, and your average session rate takes into consideration all of those scenarios, right? And it gives you a metric to be tracking, especially if you're raising your prices or you're getting rid of some insurance panels. Maybe you're cracking down a little bit on your sliding scale and you're offering different types of packages for that. But it gives you a really, really good metric to keep track of on a month-by-month basis to see if you're going to hit your target goal. So one of the things we'll be talking about is, what else should you be keeping track of? And today it's average session fee. Because if you know your average session fee and the number of clients you see per week on average, you can then extrapolate that all the way out to how much money you're going to make this year. And that's really exciting. That's one of the things to know. Or you can go the opposite way. You want to buy a house. You know it's going to cost X amount. So based on that, you know how much you need to make in your practice or your take-home pay to be able to afford the mortgage on that house. So it lets you go either way to figure out how much you're going to make or to target towards how much you want to make. It's a really good number to know, and it's why I do ask all of my clients if they know what their average session fee. If they don't, it's one of the things I help them walk them through. So now you got a feel for why it's important. Now we're going to go over how to calculate it. So the first thing you need is the number of clients you see during the week. Now, I know you might be seeing clients every other week. Maybe you only have some clients that are once a month, but I want you to look at your week. Now, if you do have a lot of clients that are every other week, they should be able to offset themselves. So a week, you can look at that, or you can even bring into 2 weeks and then average that out even further. But what you need to do is you need to calculate your average number of clients per week. So one way, you pull in 6 weeks, then you divide that by 6, you have your average number of clients. If you only pull 1 week, that doesn't take into consideration any variances. I've had some clients be successful with 4. I recommend 6 if you have 6 weeks of data in front of you, just so it gives you a better average number and it takes into consideration any variances you have. 6 weeks is a pretty decent length of time. Next, you take that list of clients. Hopefully you can export it from your practice management software, or if you have any other notes, you just put together a list, right? So you have this client, you saw this many times, for this price equals this. Now, and you do that for all your non-insurance clients. For your insurance clients, you then break them out together. This insurance pays you out this much. This is how many sessions you had at that rate over that 6 weeks. And then you pull it over and all together, right? And we have a spreadsheet for this, which is super helpful, and also an example. So one of the things here is, this is an example. Part of our sample spreadsheet, you'll see that we have it set up as type of client, number of clients, the session fee, proceeds by client type. And then we have it broken out from private pay, sliding scale, your insurance panels. So in this one, we have example of 4 insurance panels. Most of our clients tend to only be on 1 or 2 insurance panels. And then the number of clients you see. So this is working out where they have 23 clients a week that they see. It can vary. I have some folks who only see 16 clients a week. I have other folks that see 25 clients a week. So it all varies. But then using this, you can extrapolate what your proceeds are per week and the number of clients a week. And then using those two numbers, you can easily see that the average session fee here is $107 along with some change. But using that $107, you can then figure out what your salary is to target towards it. Maybe then your salary isn't high enough and you need to start increasing your average session fee, right? Maybe that means you look at reducing sliding scale or increasing sliding scale, or maybe insurance panel number 9, it might be time to see about getting off that panel because insurance panel number 9, you only have 2 clients on it. Your session fee is $75. Replacing those 2 clients might be pretty easy, but it's also the same price as your sliding scale clients. And so if you can get off of that panel, you can leave those on as sliding scale clients and then slowly raise the fee over time if that's applicable. But it gives you more data to work with here. All right, so you have that $107 figure. Maybe that's not yours, maybe yours is higher, maybe yours is a little bit lower, but like I said, it lets you know if you should drop some insurance panels, increase your client rates. The big thing though is let's talk about if you wanted to go on vacation, right? You're working 48 hours per week because that's 48 weeks per year, sorry. And that's leaving a 2-week vacation because if you're going on vacation, you need to have the 2 weeks where you're not working. So if you're working 48 weeks, you have 28 clients per week, and your average session fee is $107. Your total gross income is around $118,000 for the year. Fantastic. At that rate, if you take out all your expenses, you figure out your take-home pay, you can cover, all of your personal expenses, and you can then still afford to take that 2-week vacation. A, afford it with taking the 2 weeks off from work, and B, afford it with actually being able to pay for the vacation. Now, we go over this a little bit more. I've talked about managing money in your private practice, which might be a good video to check out. And then next week, we're going to be talking about targeting your salary and best ways to look about it. In addition, if you are making $118,000 per year, you might want to talk about becoming an S corporation at that price point, at that gross income point. There are some tax savings that you could have, and everyone wants to save on their taxes. All right, I hope you found this helpful. If so, subscribe below.